Well, hi, my name is Mariana Hernandez, and today I'm going to present about the Cathedral of Santiago de Compostela. Well, um, this cathedral is located in Santiago de Compostela in Galicia, Spain. In this presentation, I'm going to focus on the Platerías facade. Um, this is the south facade of the cathedral. This iconic masterpiece is of the medieval architecture, and it was constructed primarily during the Romanesque period and subsequent Gothic and Baroque additions. The cathedral is the most important procession site in Europe and is where the relics of Saint James Apostle are located. Um, well, this is a photo where we can observe the complete structure, but in this case, we focus in the first uh, plan with where are the stairs. There's where the facade is located. Well, next, I'm going to present what was the Romanesque period. Well, certain elements that are important to understand the structure and the sculptures that were made. Um, well, the Romanesque period in the architecture was based on elemental two and three-dimensional geometric figures. Um, these figures, from the perspective of tourist or any person, um, are in balance with the harmony and with the creations because um, in these sculptures we can perceive the the spiritual sentiment and the liturgy with the Catholic religion of that time. Um, Also, the Romanesque period in the architecture was have had a purpose to create temples with grandeur dimension and avoiding their possible destructions. Um, then the characteristics of this period was that the buildings were constructed around the Latin cross plan, as we perceive in this image. Um, if you have a view from above, well, you can see the cross, the Latin cross, and with well, the nave is the part that is like in the principal entrance, and they usually have three. Um, but then we have that the main element of this type of architecture was the supporting element that are the well, it could be the nave or by the columns and pillars decorated in the area of the capitals with biblical senses. Um, And finally, the decoration is concentrated in the pillars, as I said, because it was with a didactic purpose. And the columns of the interior and the portals and the cornices on the exterior always has this sobriety that characterizes the Romanesque. Well, now, well, but also the cathedrals and the churches were the most elaborated buildings, and they have that the certain or common elements that was the transept that is recovered from the first Paleo-Christian churches with cross particularly and with the body of the building. The dome was placed in the area where the longitudinal naves intersect with the transept, like the one of the old Cathedral of Salamanca. This is also another cathedral of this period. The church and the main altar were located in the presbytery. And next was the apse, where the Romanesque art could innovate more to the needs of the pilgrims who visit these buildings. Because, as I said, this cathedral was created especially from the pilgrims. In addition to this, the apse, the ambulatory was also included and semicircular, as we saw in this image, is a semicircular hallway through which the lateral naves were prolonged to the head. This first image could explain better. Then, well, the masters. We don't know the number or the name of the masters who direct these works. However, we have three. Well, due to the iconography and the style, several masterpieces are or have been identified as workshop of the Platerías facade. In this case, we have the master of the Francigena gate, the master of the Platerías, that is the principal, and the master of Lamb gate of Isidoro de Leon, and the master of betrayal. Um, well, in this case, although the work carried out by Master Esteban in Pamplona is unknown, that is the first master, as I mentioned. But some authors, as Gomez Moreno, identified him with what's called the Master of Platerías, as I said. And although others, such as Joaquin Yarza, argue that this attribution is difficult, mainly due to the date of the document. Well, this how this cathedral was created or why? Well, we know that in 1101, Pedro, Bishop of Pamplona, donated goods to the so-called Master Esteban. This document, as I mentioned that Esteban had worked at the Cathedral of Santiago. The document becomes especially relevant given the scarcity of names of artists we have in this period, but and is a unique example of the protection and appreciation that some architects manage to enjoy from the promoters of the work. Well, we continue with the data analysis. Well, we know that this structure, this cathedral, but especially the facade, was created in between 1075 and 1128. The building was inspired by French pilgrimage temples, and the main material of this cathedral or this facade is stone. Um, as I said, we don't know the architects or the masters exactly, but also are mentioned Bernardo and Roberto. Well, the facade of the Platerías is Romanesque style, built between these years, as I mentioned, and it's characterized by its robust structure and its semicircular arcade. The facade is formed by a large double doorway, each with decorated tympanum and three double archivolts. Um, Then the aesthetics include the figurative relief and sculptures of apostles, angels, representation of saints, the month of the year, signs of the zodiac, and the iconography represent Christological themes such as the Epiphany, the Temptation of Christ, and several scenes of the Passion. All this is related with the Catholic Church, especially, obviously. Um, and in the center of the upper frieze are a sculpture of Christ and James, probably part of the Transfiguration scene. Then, more focus in the reliefs and the sculptures, we have that in the tympanus, the left door represent a group of demons that are attacking or are attempting to Christ or a Christ. So this is in the left door, but in the right door we have that scene of the Passion of Christ and events of his crucifixion and the death. Then we have the creation of Adam and Christ in the most known figures that represent. Um, and then we have also the in the columns. Uh, we have three that are made of marble, and the rest of granite. It's stone. Um, then in the frieze is the part where the columns and the arcs are unite. So maybe it could be the part that is most decorated, and well, they have more, yes, decoration. Um, all these figures, or each figure and scenes, tells a part of the Christian history and reflects the beliefs and values of the time in which the facade was created. And I hope this information has allowed you to understand the artistic and symbolic richness of the Plateris facade. And but also, I want to present what are the emotions that this artistic representation in a cathedral has, or provoke. In this case, the emotion that may provoke is the awe and the reverence, and also with the sculptures and the details, as I said, we could have a connection, but not only in the spirituals, also as a reflective connection with the religious theme presented. And nowadays, I think that it may provoke admiration for the masters and the artistic skill that this structure has, because nowadays we don't see this type of sculptures. Or I think that this is something that we need to reflect. And from my personal perspective, I think that imagining standing before the facade, and I think I am filled of the profound sense of awe and skill, dedication of the artisans who craft its intricate tales, and the pilgrims who have journeyed to these sacred doors for centuries. And also with the fusion of the Romanesque and the Gothic and Baroque elements reflects not only the evolution of the architectural styles, but also the power of religious devotion and the cultural exchange at that time. And well, I think this that's all for me. And I don't know if you have any question, any doubts, you could leave me, and bye.